So the game takes place a little bit after SLY 3. SLY's feigning amnesia, Bentley's working on a time machine, and Murray is off racing monster trucks. So Bentley is the keeper of the Thievius Raccoonus, and the pages start fading away. So Bentley calls the gang back together, they get the time machine, and they're off on their adventure. E3 last year, just showing off El Jefe and stuff, and the fan feedback was just so good. It really got us pumped. So today we're showing off a new job, which is called Mechanical Menace. We're unveiling that Carmelita is fully playable. She'll be introduced throughout the story, and then once you've unlocked her, you can play her whenever you want, and she has her own story missions throughout the game. I love when people play the game in a focus test, and then, you know, it's like a Modern Warfare player, and they're like, I totally wouldn't play this kind of game. And then they play it, and they're like, man, that was awesome. They're like, I'm totally going to pick this game up. So if we can get that audience to get into this game and enjoy the world of Sly Cooper and all the fun gameplay that it has, it's just going to be great. If you're a Sly fan, if you've played Sly Cooper 2, it's definitely the model that we went after. You know, you have a main hub world that you can run around in, and then we have a bunch of things off of the hub that we call spokes. Now, a spoke is a linear job off of that main world, but there's a ton of things to do in the hub. You know, we have our main story missions, but then there's bottles to collect and all these different side activities to do. It's funny, when people look at Sly Cooper, they're always like, oh, platformer, platformer, platformer. But it's not a platformer. It's an action-adventure game with platformer elements. And that's really what I want people to see it as. I mean, Sly Cooper is diverse. You know, you're playing mini games, you're driving, you're running around platforming, you're doing all these different mechanics.
Greetings, friend. But I require no rescue.
It's a gang. Sly's a gang. It's very similar to like Ocean's 11, or, you know, where you're pulling off a heist or something. So every character has their strength and weakness. You know, Sly is kind of the cool, suave, stealthy, you know, player. And then you have Murray, which is like the brute strength. And then you have Bentley with the gadgets. So each of those characters have their own mechanics, and they all work together to, you know, unfold the heist.
All right, Sly, almost there.
So you could be starting a job as Sly, then you switch to Sir Galeth, and then Carmelita comes in play. We really try to mix it up. And throughout the whole game, from start to end, we try to give a good percentage of who you're playing as when. We really want to even it out. And it's difficult because we have so many playable characters in the game. You know, you got all the gang members, then you got all the ancestors, and then you got Carmelita. So it's a ton of variety in characters to play as. So we want to make sure you're not playing too much of this character and too much of that character.
If you want to stay here with the cannonballs and flaming rings, that's fine.
Sly Cooper Universe is just such a rich variety of gameplay. You know, like I said, you're doing mini games and you're driving, you're running around, stealth, action. But today, you know, with Mechanical Menace, it's a fun job because you're playing as Sir Galeth, and he's climbing up this tower. You're using his abilities and whatnot, and Carmelita is following him. So halfway through the job, Sir Galeth kind of gets in a situation, and Carmelita's got to get him out of it.
Mayhap Sir Bentley had a point.
The game is on the Vita. That's right, it's on the Vita too. So we got cross saves, so cloud saves back and forth from Vita to PS3, and then also there's special functionality just on the Vita. So we showed a job called Juggling Act, where you can switch into the archer costume and shoot the arrow. So on the Vita, you control the arrow with the, the device itself.
Man, I'm good.
I think they both have their pluses and minuses. You know, it's really about preferability. You know, if you have a Vita, you might not have a PS3. You know, we just want to get more people playing Sly Cooper. And so having it on both of those platforms is better. You know, it's good for Sly, it's good for everyone. The other thing with the Vita version is the Vita version is totally developed in-house. So at Sanzara Games, we are developing the PS3 version, and we're also developing the Vita version.
All right, you tin can with teeth. Let's see what you're really made of.
Sly Cooper Thieves in Time is coming to the PlayStation and the Vita this fall.